episode of Couch Talks. This is a new angle for you guys from my flat. It's here with my tree, my little tree nook. I love this space because I can just feel Mother Nature in this spot. I can feel the sun coming through and I can hear the birds. It's a very special spot for me. And I love this space. And then on that's the topic I want to talk to you about today. It's about observing space. So bear with me because words can't really describe what I want to explain, but I'm going to do my best. So we don't really observe space that much. We observe an object, like my hand, and we observe another object. We can observe the space between the objects, but it's the objects that we notice first. We don't really observe the space because without the objects, we don't observe anything. There's nothing. So we kind of need the objects to be aware of the space, but it's actually the space itself that's defining the objects. So what I mean by that is, if you just think about on a molecular level, in our biology, how our different molecules there's spaces between them, but there's millions and billions of them and they form us. And then there's spaces between us, every single human, and we form a community. And there's spaces between our planets and between our stars, and they form our solar system. And there's spaces between the different solar systems, and they form a galaxy. And there's different spaces between galaxies, and they form the universe. So space is a constant throughout all of those levels. Spaces in us, spaces in the world, spaces in the galaxy and the universe and the solar system, and it's ever present. It's always there, but it's not something that we notice because we only notice objects. So here's the interesting thing about space though, is like I said, if there aren't any objects, we wouldn't even see the space. If there wasn't space, there wouldn't be objects. It would just be maybe one blip. We're not just one blip, we're like everything. And that space defines everything. You see the space around your hand, and it's not really your hand that defines your hand, it's the space around your hand, it's the edges around your hand that you see. So if we practice observing space and observing the edges around an object, to observe how space defines an object, it kind of awakens this life force in you. You start realizing that there's more to this life than just this physical things that we are seeing. There's more to just that which you can feel and see and hear, because the space is not something that we can really sense, or not now because our senses aren't used to it. But the more you practice that, the more you practice observing the space, the more you'll feel that space around you and in you, out of you, above you, everywhere. And that space is also called prana, life force energy, or God, whatever you want to call it. It's the very essence of being. And that very essence of being sings throughout us. It sings throughout everything that we can see and touch. It sings across the universe. It's absolutely everywhere. And that love is it's who you are. It's who we all are. It's just defined as different things. for us to be able to see and perceive this plane of reality. It's expressed as different forms for us to learn things. For instance, that we are actually all one. And as soon as we wake up to that reality, it's so beautiful, and it sings through you. So I want you to practice observing space, not the objects, the space, and the space that creates the objects, defines the objects, and even the space within the objects, the space within you and the space within everyone. And see how that makes you feel, how that really brings up oneness and love and that peaceful feeling that you get. Okay, that's it for today, guys. I'd love for you to practice that with me, and keep an eye out. I'm busy with some behind the scenes work, very excited. It's going to launch beginning of June, hopefully, fingers crossed. So I will give you little tidbits as we get closer to that time, but I'm not going to give it all away. Anyway, enjoy your day, guys. Hope it's a good one and a good week. All my love. Bye.